Before we get stuck into the painting, I wanted to let you know about my online course. With a growing collection of weekly videos, there's always something new to look forward to. Click the button in the top right to sign up today. Now, over to the easel. This truly is one of the iconic structures in the world, and normally when I bring the colour in, you'll start to recognise it. And I have to admit, I do love painting bridges, boats, structural things. But the one element I did notice with this, it wasn't so much about the positive space or shape. It was more the negative space was the thing to really take into account. Those squares or rectangles in the inner area of the bridge verticals, and probably compositionally overall being so vertical, which in a vertical format's only going to encourage to lead the eye out. So I've got to do things, and that's where those negative spaces will help me, or having a bit of understanding and a bit of thought going into them, how to sort of slow the eye down, putting a little bit of a shadow in, some of the cables in, those sort of things, and also trying to soften off the background vertical, that upright. And I probably need to be honest that I've actually tried to paint the Golden Gate Bridge from a few different angles, mainly one down on the beach, which is to the left. On my first visit, I found that classic almost side on, and boy, it just beat me on that day. So I am here today to exact my revenge. It actually doesn't hurt, I find, to have a little bit of external, secondary or tertiary reasons why we're doing something. Sometimes if I make a bit of a mess of a painting, I'll wipe it all off and I'll use that board later. Because painting is a bit of a battle. It's a mental, physical, and then a technical battle. And we need to bring all of our best ammunition, ideas, thoughts to the painting each day, every day. So I've got some nice light so we can now really start to see the field of depth. So that's where those little shadows, especially on that upright, on the left-hand side of the upright, is probably the more crucial vertical. And as I was painting this, I really wasn't 100% convinced that it was going to work, partly because of my previous experience, and that's the great beauty of psychology. It's a part that we almost do become part psychologists, not just painters, especially when we're teaching. So I'm mostly concentrating on the bridge, the upright, because that ultimately is the recognisable structure. Because I felt the foreground and that first vertical probably looks like cement or sandstone pillars. That's kind of the easier part. It's the mid-distance and distance that is going to be the harder part. And when we're trying to balance that, we want to keep them in the mid-distance and distance. The mountains and the hills in the background, piece of cake. We've got blues and greys and orangey blues and greeny blues. That's naturally going to sit back nicely. And for me, this was the fun part. I knew once I started to get to this area, I knew I knew it wasn't going to be set and forget. It still required control and making sure that my brushwork was accurate and values neat and clean. But it was such a powerful foreground. So I knew that once I got to this area, if I was happy with it at this area, even though I know I still need to do a bit of work, we've got to get those reflections in, and I knew I pretty well had it. And that's actually quite a common thing. I'm not sure if many or any other artists have ever mentioned it, that as I'm painting, there's never any guarantee that each idea is going to work. But it's funny, and it's at a different moment in time for every painting, but it's like the penny drops. Yep, got this one. And that was the moment once I knew I started on that foreground. You're always hoping that it comes earlier, sooner than later. That's always a definite, but so long as it comes. One painting I remember doing, it didn't come until about 75% of the way through, and that's when you're starting to sort of hit the panic button a little. But now what you're probably not able to see is that I am stepping back every now and then, because especially with this complex area, and I'm leaving the cables to as late as possible. But the benefit of stepping back, and the tricky part is when you're painting, either demonstrating or filming, is you feel as if you're always on a time limit, where I would love to linger that little bit longer. But time as it is doesn't always allow that. So now I'm able to go back in and get some and strengthen those negative shapes. But it was definitely a benefit to have that strong vertical shape not line up. So it's kind of 2/3 to the right of the opening between the two uprights. So that makes for a nice arrangement of shapes. And there is a little boat going in under the bridge, which helps give a bit of scale as well. And there's another nice little directional device to point the eye where I want the viewer to go. And we're now starting to get on to these cables, because one of the hardest parts with putting cables in is getting that fluency of mark, to almost do it in one go, or make it appear like it's been done in the one brush mark. And just assessing, reassessing, bringing in some of those warmer values. And that pretty well starts to close things out. I'm pretty well on track to just do the last dots and dashes, or as I like to think, put in the final little adjustments.